Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. But most importantly, thanks for listening. This is the Real Retirees of New Jersey podcast with Peggy and Randy Fisher. It's all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. You can get more when you visit therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can find that and all the information here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Now, let's get to the show. Peggy Fisher, Randy Fisher, about a month and a half removed from Christmas, and we had this discussion. What was your take, refresh me, on gift cards as Christmas presents? Yay or nay?
I'm a yay on that one. I love gift cards.
Yeah.
I like to go somewhere where I want to get what I want. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, people give gifts that I don't want. And it's the excitement. You're like, ooh, I got a gift card. I'm going to go to Nordstrom Rack this weekend. I got my $100. Woo!
All right, Randy, the floor is yours. What are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah. I love gift cards.
He does not love gift cards, and I'm going to tell you about that. There's 2 gift cards that he got for Christmas that are still sitting on our counter, and he continues to go to Wawa, and he continues to go to our bagel place, and he's got like $100 sitting there. So like what we were talking about is people have hundreds of dollars that they're not using, right? On gift cards.
Get this. Okay. Because what we do is, yes, I've got a $50 gift card to, Walmart. Well, I'm going to go spend $48. And so I've got $2 left there, and I just leave it. It's not enough for me to make the trip. Okay. Collectively, I'm glad you said that, because it's estimated that there are $23 billion billion in unused gift cards. $1 billion of that alone is from Starbucks.
So funny how you brought that up too. Like, I just went to Dunkin' Donuts with my gift cards, but you know what? There was like 23 cents on one, and I did hand him that one and go start with that one first. And then I have $5 on the other one. He's like, "Okay, you owe me 4 cents." I'm like, "Oh, that was good, right?"
See, but you're in the minority.
I am the minority, 100%.
Instead of going straight to the $5 gift card, you were like, "Oh, we are such a lazy culture that we won't even. Oh, it's got 23 cents on it. I don't want to use it." But
I wouldn't even use them.
908-844-8337. All right, so these gift cards, basically, we're just leaving money on the table with these gift cards, $23 billion. But this is kind of what you do. At Liberty Financial Group, Artemis Wealth Advisors, you help us recognize and find that leftover money, that lazy money, that dead money, if you will, in portfolios.
Yes, that is correct. We kind of call that dead money, right?
Idle money.
Which is investments with minimal growth or yield, or sometimes we call it unproductive or some lazy money, or just something that's not working for you, that's not growing either, right?
Think about all the 401k money that's left there from people who left one employer and didn't roll it over. Everybody's like, well, it's out of sight, it's out of mind, it's growing. Well, that's true, but it's also, there's a very limited portfolio. There's a limited universe of possibilities that are within there. It's also unmanaged beyond that. And on top of that, people think, well, it doesn't really have a lot of fees, costs, or charges. Baloney. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You got to know where to look and what to look for. So when you look at that, that's first. I mean, that's the quickest dead money that I see is people who've left an employer and leave their 401k where it is. Get it out, move it to an IRA, and start getting it to work for you instead of leaving it in the plan and it's working for somebody else. Because it's literally, it's an unmanaged. Think of it like this. It's a boat that's on the tide with no sail. And it's just sitting there. And wherever the water is blowing, that's the direction you're going. So if the market's going up, good for you. If the market's going down, unfortunately, so is your money. You have no control over it because it's literally idle. Idle means you're not submitting any new contributions to it, right? Move it over, create an IRA, get it rolled over to an account, and you can have an unbelievable, unlimited universe of possibilities from a fixed account all the way up to individual stock portfolios.
Or we just had 2 clients in recently. They were young clients, and something like a life insurance policy, right? It may have a small death benefit. It might not be needed. We can definitely, like, what we do is reevaluate that and say, hey, did you need $1 million insurance policy and you're paying $1,300 a month right now when you have, so much debt? And we look at that again and take a look to see, if that's something that's definitely needed.
Well, it's the appropriateness of the situation.
Right, exactly.
So although life insurance can be used for an accumulation vehicle, and there are some good attributes to it, and there are some really good tools and strategies in which you can use life insurance, when you're starting out and building a family and you're trying to accumulate some assets at the same time of affording yourselves life insurance coverage,
right.
The one thing we would like to talk to people about is, number one, it's the cash flow opportunities and it's the affordability, right? Because if somebody dies, you don't want to know where the life insurance came from, how much cash value it had, or any of the other bells and whistles that it had on it. Mm-hmm. What's the only thing you want to know?
How much do I get?
How much do I get?
That's it.
Right? Yeah. It's the death benefit. We've literally delivered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of death claims throughout our career.
Yes.
I've never, ever, ever heard these words. Oh my goodness, this is so much money. Yeah. I've never heard that.
No.
Right? So if you have an opportunity to use money to the best of its ability, you'd probably want to cover as much death benefit as you possibly can for the best bang for your dollar. So then it's a matter of which insurance do you use. It's not which insurance company, ladies and gentlemen. It's which insurance type do you use, right? So knowing which you're going to use, you're going to get the best bang for your dollar. There are a lot of times where people are in the wrong tool and it creates idle, dead money.
Right.
So what I'm getting at in the long story here is going down a long rabbit hole. These people were putting in a lot of money on a monthly basis to an insurance policy that really wasn't accumulating anything. It was going towards paying for death benefit, and it was an exorbitant amount of money in their cash flow. The death benefit that was going to be associated, it would have been fractional if they bought a term policy for the same amount of death benefit. So what we did is we looked at it and said, well, let's free up $500 a month.
No, it was more like $1,000 a month.
No, I was going to say each.
It was each,
so
right.
$1,000 a month that they're freeing up
right.
for the same amount of death benefit. So what did we use that extra $1,000 a month for? Paying down the debt that they had, or paying for groceries, or paying for their mortgage.
Right. And at the same time, we got a nice term policy,
Bingo.
For 30 something years for a great amount. That was what they needed.
Dead money.
Household.
What else is dead money? Look through your portfolios. What are your portfolios? How about your auto insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your health insurance, your medical Part B and Part A for your Medicare deductibles and all those things? Where are you getting your best bang for your buck? If you're overpaying for something, what are you overpaying for?
Right.
These last couple months, we just started the new year and everybody goes through this, you clean out your house, you clean out your thoughts in your noggin, you finally get to the
Randy,
gym.
it's a new year, new me.
Year, right?
Yeah.
I must have seen, I don't know how many Experian or Rocket commercials I've seen over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. And what is it all about? It's all about how many subscriptions that you're paying for that you don't even know you're paying for.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt on that.
Dead money.
Yes.
Most people don't realize this. They're paying somewhere around $100 to $300 a month in subscriptions that they don't even know that they still have.
Well, it's funny that Randy, you bring that up. Remember, we did a budget with clients. And we were talking about what do they pay per month? And when we started going to the streaming, like Netflix, Hulu, blah, 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 blah. When we added that all up,
a lot of money.
It was crazy. And they're like, no, $10 a month. I'm like, no, not for Hulu, for Disney, for blah, blah. Nope. And when we ended up adding it all up, it came to like $200. And they're like, we don't even watch these programs.
So dead money comes in a lot of forms, ladies and gentlemen.
Or how about cash in bank that's not earning any interest? Cash just sitting somewhere idly.
Yeah.
Not being used
up until the last 2 years.
Right.
I mean, literally, you were going broke safely.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
I heard somebody say that having a checking account is like having lazy money. And a lot of people still have a checking account. Do you agree?
Yes, but we actually tell people use checking accounts to write checks. Yeah. Don't use checking accounts to accumulate money or to park money into it.
Right.
It's literally to write somebody a check. And most people don't even write checks anymore, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you have an online bill pay.
Yeah.
The last couple of people I've met, they literally do not have a checkbook.
Yeah, right.
So they have a checking account.
Everything's online, right?
But there's no checkbook, which that's what most people are getting at. They have a debit card, right? But everything's
I can tell you where the people that write checks are. I always seem to get right behind
grocery
at the grocery store.
Oh God, I do too. You're like, you always go to that line. Oh, there's nobody in that line.
Exactly.
Now we know why. There's a reason why.
Sweet little old lady With the
money's
checkbook
money
and the coupons.
Come on,
Yes.
money's money. You get stuck in certain ways, and people have ways of doing things.
Yeah, but also to that aspect of going back to the checkbook, we also too like to tell our clients they should have like an emergency fund. There should be money somewhere, in the bank, in the savings, wherever. And we're not going to include that as like being dead money. That should be money. If God forbid something happens, you have that emergency money set
That's rainy
aside.
day emergency
so, yeah,
money.
we're not talking about dead money.
Well, let's
like
get specific about that here for a second. 908-844-8337, talking about recognizing, finding, and utilizing the dead or the lazy money in your portfolio. With that emergency fund, are you talking about like this extra amount of money in a savings account? Or are you talking physical cash in the house?
Well, cash save at home.
We can tell you those stories too.
Cash save at home, we do kind of consider that to be dead money. But you know what? Some of our clients, they're not putting their money in a bank. They're going to keep their money in the coffee can.
Literally in a coffee,
In a coffee can.
in a mattress, in the freezer,
we have
in
many
the
of those
ground,
clients.
in the wall.
They find us. Those clients right there, that's our client.
We've had a true story. You ready? So we had a client for a very long time, and we know they never gave us all their assets, but we always know that they actually had more money. We really didn't know where it was. All they said was, I usually keep it in my house. So we're thinking, it's got to be in a safe or something like that. Now, I grew up in an area where all my aunts and uncles were my great aunts, great uncles. So you go to their house and it's like, you go to the ice box or you go to the freezer.
I was going to say the coffee can in the freezer.
No, don't touch that box or don't touch that one. That's got something else in there.
That's the Italians over there.
Yeah. Well, these people actually, long story short, the person passed away. The family moved into the house to kind of like go through the stuff and try to figure out what they were going to keep and sell and have a, auction for and this, that, the next thing. And they took a picture frame off the wall.
Guess what?
Behind the picture frame was a hole in the wall and a little wire that went down. And when they pulled the wire up, there was $10,000 attached to it.
Goodness.
So they went on a scavenger hunt throughout the entire house.
Tore down every wall in the
taking
place.
down everything that they possibly can. They found $150,000 of cash in the walls.
Wow.
Crazy.
Now, they then went to the garage, found more. They went to the garden, found more. They went to the basement, found more. By the time they got done, it was almost $380,000 worth of cash in the house. Jeez. How much interest was that money collecting?
Yeah.
None. Zero. Not a penny. I kind of get it, though, because if you think about like our grandparents, they lived through
That's
the
what
crash.
They did. Yes, they did.
Yeah, I get that. But listen, how about if you were in the Palisades of California right now? How much do you have left?
Not a penny.
Not a penny, because you know where it went?
It
Up
burned.
in smoke.
It burned,
Yeah.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
I get
Or
that.
God forbid someone finds out that you have that.
Yeah.
Are you a liability when you're sitting home in the middle of the night?
Yeah,
and
but like
somebody
you
knocks
said,
on
Mark,
your door?
the old school don't think like that.
Yeah.
They thought, yeah.
There
this
are
might-
better ways
yeah.
now. In 2025,
Ladies and
there are
gentlemen,
better
don't
ways.
go broke.
Yeah,
Don't go
get
broke
broke.
safely.
Yes. Now, I will say that is there something to be said about keeping some cash in the house just in case?
Sure.
I'm not talking $30,000.
Yeah.
But, a couple $1,000 just in case.
But that's actually a big point, though. What's enough? Right? And what's enough is what makes you feel comfortable to put your head on the pillow at night.
And we
you
always
don't
say
have
that.
anxiety.
And we always say that. They say to us, how much do you think? And that's Randy's words or my words
That's
that we
the
say.
amount of money.
What makes you comfortable when you put your head down on the pillow at night? What would you be happy with?
A client comes to mind, and I won't give her last name, but her first name's Nancy. So if you're listening, Nancy, hi, this is you. And
Nancy.
every single time we get together for a review, she basically says, you know me, I have to have a certain amount of money in the bank. I mean, at least 6 figures is sitting in checking accounts. Mm-hmm. And I say, Nance, how much are you making? She goes, it doesn't matter. I just know it's there.
That's our safe money.
I go, when was the last time you had an emergency for that amount of money?
Right.
She goes, never, but you just don't know if it's going to happen.
Wow.
Okay.
Different strokes for different folks, and we got to go with it.
Sleep insurance.
That's right.
And that's
what
fine.
makes her happy. So then we have to go with that.
There's no right or wrong answer. I always hear people of, use a rule of thumb, 3 to 6 months worth of income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can use that. But you know what? The rule of thumb is what keeps you happy and comfortable at night.
Yeah.
If it's $10 in your checking account, then it's $10 in your checking account. I don't think that's enough. If it's $100,000 in your checking account, I think that's absorbing it.
Right.
But again, it's a conversation that we can have with you, or you can talk to yourself about and say, does this make sense? Does my money need to be making money while I'm sleeping? Then you should have an adequate amount of liquidity savings. Or I should say, You should have savings that's getting a fixed rate of return that's going to be what? Liquid.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember 3 properties of money? You have growth and possibility, you have liquidity, and you have guarantee.
Yeah.
The money that's supposed to be in emergency funds and liquidity funds need to be 100% liquid within a day or 2, and they have to be 100% guaranteed. They can't be speculative. They can't be invested, right? So you're going to be putting them into such as money market accounts, treasury bills, savings accounts, unfortunately, coffee cans, holes in a wall, mattresses, safes, right?
Yeah.
So, again, remember, holes in the walls, coffee cans, and safes, they don't make you anything.
Right.
So it's how much of the opportunity cost lost are you willing to sacrifice in order to have that peace of mind?
And most of the time after we do, have a conversation with you, they go, oh yeah, you know what? That makes sense. You know what? This is where we should put it. You know what? Yeah, I would like to make some money on it. You know what? I didn't think of it this way. Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
It's just another opinion. Another, we always talk about the second opinion service.
perspective.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's all about perspective. 908-844-8337. Again, 908-844-8337. If you hear anything on this weekend show you need some clarity on, you're ready to get serious about customizing a retirement strategy, or maybe you are retired and you're just looking for that second opinion. You're working with a big box firm and just feel like your needs aren't being met. Nothing wrong with asking the questions. I want to talk about income for a couple of more minutes here, because there was a new Allianz study that found almost half of investors don't have an income plan. Most are worried that they're going to live too frugally. This is just exactly what we were talking about. They're hiding money in the walls. They're burying money in the backyards. They don't enjoy their retirement because they're worried about running out of money. And 27% of adults report that they've never had the discussion about income with their current financial advisor. Shouldn't income planning be job one in a portfolio?
Not only in a portfolio, but it actually be something that you start to build before you even retire, right? So there's different stages of life and accumulation. Then you have, income and preservation and things like that. But the fact is, prior to retiring, so the day you retire, you don't build your income plan.
No, you do that way ahead of time.
Right? And what we like to say is 3 years potentially before you retire, your money needs to start retiring. Doesn't mean it needs to stop earning. It means that it needs to become more protective.
Yes.
It needs to become more preservation oriented, as well as it needs to have a game plan. And the game plan is going to go from being growth oriented to income oriented to preservation, right? So when you're working, if you make a mistake or the market is fluctuating, now when the market's fluctuating and you're contributing to it, it's to your advantage. When the market is going down and you're not contributing to it, there's no advantage because there's no dollar cost averaging. You're not buying anything that's cheaper. In fact, you're just losing money. That's the same thing with idle money that's sitting around doing it, nothing for you. But when you're in that growth stage, it's the accumulation of units that you're looking forward to using. As you start to wean towards retirement, it's the mistakes that people make is to stay remaining aggressively invested, leading right up to the day they retire or through retirement, and you get volatility built into your portfolio. We call that living on commission, because what you're doing there is when times are good, you're willing to take money out of your account. When times are not good, are you just going to stop your income?
No.
No, you're not going to stop your income. No. So what happens there is you start to pull money out of your portfolio when it's down, and that creates negative consequences called reverse dollar cost averaging. We can get into that if you like. 908-844-8337 when you get together. Just let us know that you heard us talk about reverse dollar cost averaging. And when we go over it, the light bulb will go on. It's like bing, you figure it out right away.
And we do find too that income planning, to me, it's the most crucial aspect of your personal finances.
And it's one thing most people don't know how to do.
That's right. Well, it's managing through, like Randy said, the stages of life and making sure that each stage you are managing that how it needs to be. And that definitely, it evolves, as you go through your stages. Your income source may change. Your financial goals may change. The strategies on how we do those things may change. So
income planning is not saying I have X number of dollars and I'm taking a percentage out on a monthly basis.
Right.
That's not income planning, ladies and gentlemen. That is lazy broker income planning. What that means is Stay invested for all reasons in all seasons. That's silly, and that's actually stupid.
Yeah, and that's why we, even with our clients, we don't talk to them once a year or once something happens, an emergency. We like to talk to our clients, most of the time, for the ones who do have, wealth investment with us, we do a 3-month review, making sure that we're on track, going over those things with people to make sure that we're on the right track. We know where we need to go. Obviously people have the annuities, that's, a yearly thing, but definitely with the wealth income planning, we like to talk to you, every 3 months at least on that, if not weekly. Most of the time, Randy's talking to his clients.
Think of money in 3 colors. It's really easy, like a stoplight, right? You have yellow, red, and green.
Yep.
If you have yellow is basically your liquid money. It's the money that really is not moving. It's not doing anything. It's there for you. If you need it, there's an emergency, you can get it.
Yep.
Green money is guaranteed money. You're guaranteed you don't want to live without it. You're guaranteed that it's there longer than you live. And you want to make sure that it's guaranteed to show up every month. That's right. Green money.
Yes.
Red money is anything else that's not yellow or green. That's the easiest way to understand what red money is. Sure. What can red money be? Red money can be investments. It could be rental income. It can be anything speculative. It could be money sitting in a checking account. For all I care, it doesn't make a difference. It's money that you don't need to build your income plan. Well, what color is your income plan? Green. Green money is the amount of money in which you need to go to your mailbox or your checking account each month and know that when you open it, there's a check arrived.
And that's money
a paycheck.
Right, exactly.
Paychecks are green. Paychecks show up consistently every month, no matter what the economy's doing, no matter what the inflation rate is, and no matter what the market does. Green shows up every single month. Red is not red as in it can lose money, but it can also make money. Red as in it's not my guaranteed income money. So red is, hey, the market was really doing well this year. You want to take a vacation? Let's take some money out of there. Or it's, you know what? The market's really not performing too good this year. Why don't we sit on that and let it come back? But knowing next month, the month after, my green money is supplying me with an income. I'm not taking it out of the fluctuating value of my portfolio. I have an exact amount of money that's coming out over time. I also have an appreciating income plan. So this year I'm making X number of dollars. Next year I want to make X plus 1. The following year I want to make X plus 2, and on and on and on. So in years where we have inflation, we build in the income plan to associate that whatever goods and services in which you were already creating and buying and needing, you're going to be able to do the same thing again without putting any kind of strain on your portfolio.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.